I never thought a parking spot could ruin someone's life. But after what my neighbor did to me for months, I made sure he would never park there again. I live in a pretty normal apartment complex. Nothing fancy, just your average place where everyone mostly minds their own business. Or at least, that's what I thought. When I first moved in, one of the biggest reasons I chose this place was because it came with a reserved parking spot. And if you've ever lived in the US, you know how valuable that is. My unit, apartment 3B, came with spot number 27. It was written clearly in my lease. At first, everything was fine. For the first couple of weeks, I parked there every day with no issues. Life was peaceful. Until he showed up. His name was Derek. I didn't know much about him at first, except that he lived in 3A right next to me. He drove this beat-up black SUV that looked like it had survived a war. The first time I noticed something was wrong was on a Tuesday evening. I came home from work, exhausted, just wanting to relax. And someone was parked in my spot. At first, I thought it was a mistake. Maybe someone had a guest over. So I parked in a visitor spot and went upstairs. The next morning, the car was still there. That's when I knocked on 3A. Derek opened the door. Messy hair. Tank top. Already looked annoyed. "Yeah," he said. I kept it polite. "Hey, I think you might have accidentally parked in my spot, #27. He looked at me, then smirked. "No. That's my spot." I blinked. "I'm pretty sure it's mine. It's in my lease." He shrugged. "Well, I've been using it. So it's mine now." And then he shut the door. At first, I didn't want drama. So I contacted the apartment management. They confirmed exactly what I already knew. Spot 27 was mine. They said they'd handle it. Spoiler, they didn't. Derek was still parking there. So I left a note on his windshield. "Hey, this is a reserved spot. Please don't park here. Thanks." Simple. Polite. That note was crumpled up and thrown on the ground the next morning. That's when I realized this wasn't a misunderstanding. This guy was doing it on purpose. Days turned into weeks. Every single day, I'd come home, and there it was. That same ugly SUV. In my spot. I started having to park farther and farther away. Sometimes I had to park on the street. One night, it was raining heavily, and I had to walk almost 10 minutes just to get home. Meanwhile, Derek? Comfortably parked right outside. It wasn't just annoying anymore. It felt disrespectful. I tried talking to him again. This time, I wasn't as polite. "Dude, this is getting ridiculous. That's my spot." He leaned against his door, completely relaxed. "Then park somewhere else." I couldn't believe it. "You're literally stealing my parking." He laughed. "What are you gonna do about it?" That line stuck with me. That night, I couldn't sleep. I kept thinking about what he said. What are you gonna do about it? That's when I realized something. Management wasn't helping. Talking wasn't working. And Derek clearly didn't care about rules. So if he wanted to play dirty, maybe I needed to stop playing nice. I started doing research. Turns out, there are a lot of creative ways to deal with someone like this, legally. At first, I considered towing. But there was a problem. The apartment complex required a special permit process, and management had to approve it. And guess what? They kept delaying it. Convenient. So I needed something smarter. Something that wouldn't get me in trouble. But would make Derek regret every second of what he was doing. Over the next few days, I started paying attention. Derek had a routine. Left around 9 a.m. Came back around 6 p.m. Always parked like he owned the place. But there was something interesting. He was extremely lazy. He always chose my spot because it was closest to the entrance. Even when other spots were open, he didn't care. He wanted convenience. And that gave me an idea. One morning, I woke up early. Earlier than usual. And I moved my car into spot #27 before Derek could get back. Then I waited. Sure enough, around 6 p.m., Derek pulled in. He slowed down, confused. His spot, my spot, was taken. By me. He parked farther away that day. And I saw the frustration on his face. For the first time, he felt what I had been feeling for weeks. The next morning, I made a decision. This wasn't going to be a one-time thing. If Derek wanted a war, I was going to win it. And I had a plan that would make sure he never touched my parking spot again. For months, Derek kept stealing my parking spot. Management didn't help. Talking didn't work. So I stopped playing nice. And that's when everything changed. Taking my spot once wasn't enough. I wanted Derek to feel the same frustration every single day. So I studied his routine more carefully. He left at 9 a.m. Came back at 6 p.m. Always expected my spot to be empty. So I made sure it never would be. Every morning, I moved my car into spot number 27 before he came back. At first, Derek thought it was coincidence. Then it started happening every day. I could see it in his face. Confusion turned into irritation. I even caught him one evening just sitting in his car, staring at my parking spot like it had betrayed him. Good. One night, I took it a step further. I printed a small sign and placed it near my parking spot. Reserved for apartment 3B, unauthorized parking will be reported. Nothing aggressive. Just official looking enough to annoy him. The next day, the sign was gone. Torn. Thrown aside. Classic Derek. But that told me something important. I was getting under his skin. A few days later, Derek tried to take the spot again. But this time, I was ready. I had already contacted a towing company privately. I explained everything. Showed them my lease. They said, if he parks there again and you call us, we'll take care of it. Perfect. So I waited. That Friday night, it finally happened. I came home late on purpose. And there it was. Derek's SUV. Parked in my spot. Like nothing had changed. I smiled. Because this time, he had made a mistake. I stepped inside my apartment. Waited 10 minutes. Then made the call. The tow truck arrived faster than I expected. Quiet. Professional. No drama. Within minutes, Derek's precious SUV was hooked up. And then, gone. The next morning was priceless. I heard loud footsteps in the hallway. Then, bang, bang, bang. My door. I opened it calmly. Derek looked furious. Where's my car? I leaned against the door. Oh, you mean the one parked in my reserved spot? He froze. You had it towed? I shrugged. You said it yourself, what was I gonna do about it? That line hit him hard. Here's the thing about towing in the US. It's not cheap. Impound fees. Towing fees. Storage fees. It adds up, fast. Derek ended up paying hundreds of dollars to get his car back. And the best part? It was completely legal. After that day, something magical happened. Derek never parked in my spot again. Not once. In fact, he started parking as far away as possible. Avoiding me. Avoiding eye contact. Avoiding everything. A few weeks later, I got a knock on my door. It was Derek. But this time, he looked different. Calm. Quiet. Hey. I just wanted to say, sorry. I didn't expect that. I shouldn't have taken your spot. I was being a jerk. I nodded. Yeah, you were. He gave an awkward smile. And walked away. Sometimes, people don't understand boundaries. Until there are consequences. Derek thought he could take whatever he wanted. Because no one stopped him. But the moment someone did, everything changed. So yeah. That's how a parking spot turned into a full-blown war. And how I made sure my neighbor never messed with me again.